Question 41. At the beginning of project execution, you notice different opinions between team members relating to project work and deliverables and to the level of overall complexity. What should you do right now? Give your team members some time to develop a common understanding of the project scope and product scope. Upcoming interface problems may be resolved later. Use the risk management processes to identify and assess risks caused by misunderstandings and develop a plan with measures in order to respond to them. Organize meetings to identify and resolve misunderstandings between team members in order to avoid interface problems, disintegration, and costly rework early in the project. Use interviews in private with each individual team member to inform them of your expectations and your requirements in an atmosphere of confidence. Answer C is the correct choice. Organize meetings to identify and resolve misunderstandings between team members in order to avoid interface problems, disintegration, and costly rework early in the project. Question 42. You have just taken over as manager of a project which will create many benefits for the performing organization, but you sense a high level of resistance by various stakeholders right from the start. What is the most appropriate action to resolve the problem? Develop a responsibility assignment matrix (RAM), which clearly shows the responsibility of each stakeholder for the various project activities and who needs to be consulted and informed. Develop an organization diagram which places each of the stakeholders at an appropriate position inside the project and allows for certain lines of communication while disallowing others. Schedule a meeting with these stakeholders to present the project, discuss and establish ground rules, ensure their involvement, and identify initial personnel and organizational issues. Do not talk to these stakeholders too much at this time. Instead, create faits accompli, which will later force the stakeholders to support the project to a lack of alternatives for them. Answer C is a correct choice. Schedule a meeting with these stakeholders to present the project, discuss and establish ground rules, ensure their involvement, and identify initial personnel and organizational issues. Question 43. You are in the process of planning a project and found that stakeholders often have varying objectives and requirements, which makes it hard to sum up a plan in such way that all objectives will be met. What is probably most helpful to ensure common understanding? Ask the project stakeholders to build focus groups in order to discuss and remedy conflicting interests. Create an exhaustive document describing your point of view and ask stakeholders to review it. Let each stakeholder write a statement of work. Merge the documents to a project scope statement. Use your authorization as a project manager to clearly prioritize the different objectives. Answer A is the correct choice. Ask the project stakeholders to build focus groups in order to discuss and remedy conflicting interests. Question 44. Projects frequently do not meet customer expectations from which of the following reasons? Poor risk management by the contractor running the project, poor technical ability of the contractor running the project for the customer, technical inability and poor risk management by the contractor, unclear scope definition by the customer for whom the project is performed. Answer C is the correct choice. Technical inability and poor risk management by the contractor. Question 45. What is typical for critical chain project management? Management of buffers, management of total floats and free floats, management of leads and lags, management of resource over allocations. Answer A is the correct choice. Management of buffers. Question 46. You are the project manager for the development of a new type of power plant. Your project is making fast progress and it is getting nearer to the day of product acceptance. Which technique will be most important for product acceptance? Inspection, quality audit, impact analysis, team review. Answer A is the correct choice. Inspection. Question 47. What are the cost types in modern quality management? Cost of good quality, cost of bad quality, planning costs, assurance costs, control costs, planning costs, doing costs, checking costs, acting costs, prevention cost, appraisal cost, failure cost. Answer D is the correct choice. Prevention cost, appraisal cost, failure cost. Question 48. During the execution of a project to build a complex defense system, your team has run into a deep crisis. The project's goal and objectives have been challenging right from the start, but now you have discovered that your team members have become increasingly unaware of them. Being busy solving detailed problems, they often fail to understand the overall requirements. Then they develop solutions which resolve issues in their area of limited responsibility while causing new problems at the interfaces with other system components. Meanwhile, the team members show signs of growing frustration and time is running away. How can you help your team in this situation? Accompany your team members along a sequence of maturity levels from dependence through independence to interdependence. Ignore the low-level issues and focus on achieving the overall requirements. Details can be sorted out during test and handover. If everybody simply does their jobs, then there should be no problem. Make sure that team members are fully aware of their accountability. Problems of this dimension have their origin in fundamental personal incompatibilities between team members. You should replace them all. Answer A is the correct choice. Accompany your team members along a sequence of maturity levels from dependence through independence to interdependence. Question 49. A project has the following earned value data assessed: AC $4 million, CV minus $500,000, SPI 1.12, BAC $9,650,000. What is the earned value of the project? $3 million, 3,500,000, 4,480,000, 5,650,000. Answer B is a correct choice. 3,500,000. Question 50. During execution in a project to build a major road bridge, your team found a hefty flaw in the technical drawings. On an ad hoc basis, they had to find and implement a workaround to avoid delays and mitigate technical problems. What should you do next? Meticulously document the problem and the workaround to create a requested change to the project management plan, which will then be passed to the body responsible for the change control decision. The workaround was performed on a technical level only. As long as it does not influence the function of the bridge or the organizational configuration of the project, a change request will not be necessary. A formal change request from Hind side is not sensible. Create some additional documents describing the workaround and sign them by yourself. You can present them during the next regular CCB meeting. It is normal in projects that during project execution, inconsistencies arise between planning documents and actual implementation. This is no problem as long as the functional status of the product is maintained. Answer A is a correct choice. Meticulously document the problem and the workaround to create a requested change to the project management plan, which will then be passed to the body responsible for the change control decision.